previously on JC1424?
We're finally going to get my first win of our season. It's the last fucking lap! That does not make any sense! Ah! So now I gotta take a pit stop just so I get four tires. Let's only get enough fuel that we need just to make it to the end. Okay, no fuel is needed. No repairs. Can I still be in the lead after all this? No! I have to be in 31st place! Ah!
Be ready?
A, this race was boring. B, the finish was absolute fucking crap. And C, it shows the inconsistency of this game towards NASCAR's rulebook. It shows the inconsistency of this game towards NASCAR's rulebook.
And it now. Car in the wall, back straightaway, no problem. He's the last car in line, Ryan Blaney. Caution waved, but did he get the checker before the caution for that car on the back straightaway? Really?
Going green, this is car 5. Going green, this is car 5. Bring them down.
I had not done a Dragon Must Roar video in a long time. And I really thought I was done with it after the last one. But this is a special occasion. And this ain't no exhibition. Oh boy. Oh, so many things are wrong with the All-Star race. It's not even an All-Star race at this point. It's the All-Star entertainment event. That's what that event has become. It's been disgraced. It's nothing more than NASCAR's attempt of doing their experiments to figure out how to fuck up the sport even more. And I think it needs to go extinct. And I'm not the only one saying that. It's run its course. It's outlived its usefulness. And that's pretty much it. Oh, but that's not the only thing. So, where do I start? But let's work our way up. The first thing that I want to rage out about is NASCAR's egregiousness with the new car. There have always been questions about the safety aspects of the cars. And although it's trying to prove its worth, I still think it has a bit of a ways to go. Luckily not a long way to go, but a bit of a way to go. So on top of that, comes another problem, and that is the tires. You see, NASCAR's issues with these new tires with this new car, this is something that should not have happened. Change the body style all you want. That's been a thing that's been going on this is the 7th generation of new car. So, yay, you made it to the Alola region. But the tires, what the hell was NASCAR thinking? So we're in the aspect here of the single lug tires. There keeps being problems regarding the wheels, and then coming off, which everyone and their grandmother saw coming a mile away. Now we're having illegitimate suspensions for no reason. And yeah, it's just a disaster. And now we're having egregious tire fails at an alarming rate. Like when two of NASCAR's golden boys had issues with tires. That should be the, hello, problem, NASCAR, do something. Because you think if it didn't happen to anyone else, if it happens to their golden boys, like it did with Larson and Busch, then that would be the alarm going off to NASCAR. But I don't know what NASCAR's trying to do in terms of this new car. Because if they think that changing the car up to make it look like Jackson Storm from Cars 3 is going to make an improvement to the bringing in news fans and stuff, no, it's not. It's not. That's not gonna draw new fans. I've been saying this since, 2003? Egregious changes for the sake of change is not gonna bring in a fan base. If anything, you're gonna get rid of potential future fans because the current fans will not recommend the product. And if I'm saying about the tire issues, then you're gonna love everything else that happened in this event. Because how long ago, was it the Kansas weekend or the Atlanta-Daytona weekend that those races went off the way they did? I think it was Kansas they said this. And they said, the new car has saved 1.5-mile intermediate track racing. Yay! No, it has not. And this clearly proved it. And now everyone is agreeing with me on that aspect, that Texas was not savable in this aspect. Never has been, never will be. Like, if you had Chicagoland and Kentucky on the schedule, then maybe those tracks could have been saved. Because let's face it, Chicago needed it because they were going down. The Kyle and Kyle show with the predictable ending was not going to save Chicagoland. And everyone decided to screw up Kentucky, but not Texas-wise. It wasn't going to save Kentucky either. Because Kentucky had great racing before they decided to make all the changes for the sake of Cup. Look where that got it. So, can we finally agree that some tracks were more affected by the new car than others? Y'all want to say that short track racing has been ruined. You called Richmond a flop because it was a strategy race. Right. And the way that all this is going, it was so bad. Like, Atlanta-Daytona, you basically had choo-choo racing. Oh, but there were a lot of passes for the lead. And that was about it. Like, Texas was not much better in that aspect, but at least it's not mini Daytona. They fucking ruined Atlanta, and Texas is not salvageable. So that's two tracks that can go away already. And I know just the dates to put them. Now, there are other possible reasons that you can get rid of Atlanta and Texas, and Atlanta especially in a certain instance, but I'm not going to discuss that because people will call me crazy if I do. Like they've been doing it since, 2002? Oh no, a lady into NASCAR. Oh boy, that's so strange. And that's another story for another time. But anyway, Atlanta was ruined. Texas is beyond ruined. Those two need to go. And I know just the tracks to get their dates. North Wilkesboro and Rockingham. Make it right. They attempted to kill off both those tracks for the sake of Texas. It's now time, after all these years, to return the favor. Texas is not salvageable, and Atlanta in its new state is what we do not need. Those two tracks need to go. Return to North Wilkesboro and Rockingham. That is what is needed right now. So, in discussion with the single lug nut tires like we did earlier, when is NASCAR going to wise up and get rid of the single lug nut tires and go back to actual tires? Because let's face it, the single lug nut tire thing, it's a disaster. Like, even when the car of tomorrow came out years ago, they had that weird rear wing thing, right? And it did more detriment than good because of the styling of a stock car having that type of wing and how much it basically was a detriment in that aspect. Even to the point where the Car of Tomorrow wing was eventually axed. And I hope it does not take 3 1/4 years to axe the single lug tires. It needs to go now. Because let's face it, it's a detriment, it's a safety hazard, it's an annoyance, and now the Golden Boys, like Larson and Busch, are being affected. So surely that's got to be an alarm in NASCAR's mind, right? But yeah. And that's not even getting to the big situation that NASCAR tried to stir up. So, it's no longer WWE on wheels. WWE is NASCAR in a squared circle. Did you see that ridiculous attempt of NASCAR trying to fix the ending of the race by throwing the caution last second in order to fuck over Ryan Blaney? Because he's one of the good guys in NASCAR and thus not one of NASCAR's Golden Boys. Did you all notice that? Oh, yeah, sure, right. And thank you, JC1424, for showing me that clip. Because that's the entire reason why I'm doing this video. So, NASCAR, what the hell were you thinking there? So, Ryan Blaney's easily going to win the All-Star race. Dominant car of the last couple stages, right? And what does NASCAR do? Oh no, we can't have that happen. Stenhouse is having a problem in the back. Throw caution. Huh? To the point the commentators were calling them out. Oh, you definitely know that went over well. And then, Ryan Blaney knows he's won the race. Not thinks he's won the race, knows he won the race. And part of his window net comes down because he was gonna, the race was over. And now part of his window net was down. It's not fully down. It's like one latch was off. It's a 2-latch system from what I understand. And it's not down, but part of it was off. So now people are making the argument that Blaney should have been black flagged in a race he won? Hello? And clearly give it to one of NASCAR's other Golden Boys, Denny Hamlin. No. And I had to laugh at this. Denny Hamlin went on a stupid tangent like the Denny Hamlin we know of today, saying, well, the window net was coming down, so Blaney should have been black flagged. Well, yeah, he should have won the race, but I should have won it instead. Oh, shut up, you fucking baby. Ugh. Thank God that things worked out in the end, and Blaney legitimately twice won the race. Now, another problem was the fact that NASCAR, according to some people, put Ryan Blaney in danger. Because if Blaney would have gotten wrecked on the restart and the window net was the way it was, would have it affected him? But, well, here's my thing on that. The right thing in that situation to do was to fix the window net and give Blaney back his position, and then they would have gone from there, right? Well, luckily nothing stupid happened in that aspect, so we're safe on that. But the fact that NASCAR tried to fix the race for the exciting ending and one of their Golden Boys winning. Ryan Blaney won the race, not one. You owe him $2 million, NASCAR! You went from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire to greed. Now pay up! Congratulations if you got the reference for the Millennium Game Show era. But this reiterates another problem between all of these different situations. And that's this. Not only does Texas need to go away, but I think the All-Star race should too. It's not even an All-Star race anymore. What did I call it earlier? The All-Star entertainment event? The All-Star race has outlived its usefulness. The aspect of the All-Star race was a big-time money event that has the big purse. The Daytona 500 now has that, so that's a no. It's supposed to be exciting with the biggest stars in racing, like literally every race. And I hope y'all didn't hear that. But anyway. The way that this is going, I don't think the All-Star race should exist anymore. Because all the All-Star race has become is NASCAR's experimental grounds for stupid experiments. Like, look at the 2020 race alone. And all the things they tried out in that one All-Star race. The following. Moving car numbers. For what reason? To bring in sponsors. No, it hasn't. It's to be an annoyance. The choose code. Thank you, Austin Dillon, for that suggestion. That's a short track thing, not a NASCAR thing. Now NASCAR's going to try and make short track racing extinct. Both with the new car and this idea. So thanks for that. Moving the All-Star Entertainment event to a track that's not Charlotte. Now, in fairness, this was not the first year they did that. They did that, I think, the second year at Atlanta, the old Atlanta. And it was so great because Earnhardt, whoa! Give me a break. There's a reason it was in Charlotte. It's because it's home to most of the teams. And the one that did not advance out of NASCAR's checklist round, which was the Underglow, and I think the only reason for that is because of the fact that orange Underglow cars look like they were on fire. So, probably a safety thing, which with NASCAR is surprising. But, yeah. The All-Star race has outlived its usefulness and purpose. And Texas is a dead racetrack. It's time for them both to go. Now, like I said earlier, the best solution is for Texas and Atlanta to be dropped to bring back North Wilkesboro and Rockingham. They are getting funding to repair those tracks to racing shape and form, and I think also to NASCAR aspects, so that would work perfectly. It would work perfectly. Like, forget Chicagoland, that's not coming back. And Kentucky is going the Nashville Super Speedway route, but hopefully it doesn't take as long as Nashville Super Speedway. So hopefully things will go on there. Now, the only other question is, what can replace the All-Star race? Well, that's simple. Like, we had the pit stop competitions for a long time. This is easy. Instead of the All-Star Entertainment event for a little exhibition of a few drivers and the top rides and stuff, this is what I suggested. That entire week, you highlight other aspects of the teams other than the drivers. Because most people are not going to know anything outside of the drivers, and maybe the crew chiefs, and maybe the spotters if they're a former driver. So, do it like the old days of the pit stop competition. That would be perfect. Make it about the pit crews. Because you heard the phrase, no I in team, that's the perfect way to do that. Instead of this all-star exhibition event for racing, just have it about the pit crews and the teams in general. Make the entire thing about them. And you would also have all the teams invited in a little bracket style. Like, take the top 32 teams and go from there. Make it an all-day thing. Now, if NASCAR thinks that's too much, take the top 16. And just do it that way. Like, do the bracket thing. But, yeah, go that way. And that's basically how you do it. Don't get the drivers involved. Just make it entirely about the pit crew because you don't want stumbles and that kind of thing like you did with the... whatever that attempt of drag racing was for the qualifying for the All-Star event for the top 8 guys. That was kind of a dumb idea. But that's also a way to downgrade that. But this is actually the good fix. So the TLDR for this is the 1.5 mile tracks are not saved. It's potential that all forms of racing have been made worse, except maybe road courses. Texas and Atlanta-Daytona, and yes, I'm going to refer to Atlanta to that until the track is either changed again or dropped, should go away for North Wilkesboro and Rockingham. It's the only thing to make things right after all these years. The single lug nuts need to go and return to the 5-lug system and an actual racing tire. Like, the single lug nut tire should go the way of the Curve Tomorrow wing. NASCAR, and this is indisputable because even the commentators read, everyone's agreeing on this one, except maybe Denny Hamlin. Because Denny Hamlin, wah, wah, wah. That NASCAR tried to screw over Ryan Blaney, and their plan failed. You're not going to do the same thing to Ryan that you did to his father Dave on so many occasions. 2012 Daytona, I remember. And not only should Texas and Atlanta-Daytona and the single long nut tires go away, but the All-Star race needs to go away too. Just make an entire day's worth for the pit crews. Because we get enough action and connection with the drivers, make it about the pit crews. Give them their time to shine. Why do you think Benny Parsons created the Golden Benny back in 2002? Although that's a strange story in itself, but anyway, he wanted to highlight the pit crews. And that's what I think the All-Star event should be. So, because of that, I think that's it. I think that's the solutions that we need. A lot of things need to go so that a lot of things can be restored. The new car has not saved the 1.5 mile tracks like a lot of people thought they would. Texas and Atlanta-Daytona need to go. The single lug nut tires need to go. And the All-Star Entertainment event needs to go as well. Let's go back to 5 lug nuts. Let's go back to North Wilkesboro and Rockingham. And let's go back to highlighting the pit crews for the All-Star event instead of a few random top drivers. And I doubt NASCAR is going to listen to me, but I'm not alone in this one. A lot of people are saying the exact same thing. A lot of people. In NASCAR, it's more than high time to fix it. And stop trying to fix the ending of the races for your Golden Boys. Like, it's uber obvious by now. So, you're not fooling us with this thing. You're not fooling us. You're not. So, that's pretty much it for today. And before I scoot, I want to say a huge thank you to all of you for the massive views I have gotten on my last video, which was my story on the Triple Black Flag race, the 2008 Charlotte Truck race. So, I'm very impressed with the first few days of that video having that many views. So I will end this on a positive note. A huge thank you to you guys for that one. But much like Johnny getting screwed in that race, they try to screw over other things. They screwed over their Golden Boys with the tire issues in the All-Star event. They tried to screw over Ryan Blaney. Thank God that attempt to screw him over failed. But NASCAR needs to stop trying to screw over things for entertainment or for the sake of new fans who are not going to come. Because if this keeps up, NASCAR's going to end up screwing themselves out of existence. Like you want Texas and the All-Star race to be, and Atlanta Daytona. Notice I'm saying Texas and Atlanta and not Talladega? And I hate Talladega? That should tell you something. So, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I know that I'm not alone on this one. So, maybe NASCAR will listen to us, but this is NASCAR we're talking, so I doubt it. So, yay. So, that's it for today. Thank you everyone for watching. This is Ultimate 23 Dragon, and that's my final answer.
Just hit the button. It doesn't take that long. Subscribe, hit the bells, follow.